What do you know? Accidental ST. Recent Japanese tier lists have placed Fei Long in high tier. Or is it mid? I don't remember. He was always regarded as low tier in America, like for years and years and years. He's like Zangief, but with combos instead of throws. Like his throw range is pretty good, and he can open you up like that. And his burst damage is through the fucking roof. It's like high as shit. If he gets a punish, he fucking destroys you. If he lands a chicken wing, he fucking destroys you. But he doesn't deal with fireballs that well. And any character who doesn't deal with fireballs that well is like severely gimped in ST. Yeah, that shit is really bad. He's like plus after a fucking flip. And the throw mix-up is insane. And he can just do another fucking chicken wing. He also has a good DP. The light one I'm pretty sure is safe, or usually safe anyway. Nice combo. And I think all versions have invincibility. Rekka's usually safe too. The problem is he has all these safe things now, and his attacks are insanely fucking fast. The problem is just footsies. Fei Long doesn't footsie that well. I'm pretty sure his overhead is the fastest overhead in the game. Guile. I don't think Guile was ever top tier. Guile gets kind of fucked around by a lot of the top tiers. Guile's usually regarded as mid, I'm pretty sure. Sim is definitely top. Sim is probably top 2. Maybe number 1. If I were to make a ST tier list, I'd put Sim as number 1. But I don't play that much ST. I just watch a lot. So take that with a grain of salt. Honda is a real bully to anyone who doesn't have a fireball. His throw damage is pretty good and leads to a good mix-up. He has a command throw that goes pretty far. That can be like stored. Big combo. That hurts so much. He's near dizzy too. His hands are super hard to counterpoke. Honda's hands are like really good in this game. Like the only way you can hit a Honda like doing hands is like fucking fireball him. Honda's answers to fireballs are fucking donkey dick though. He's kept that balanced aspect like every single game, and I always hate it because it's like they're intentionally making a character have bad balance. It's like, hey, the fucking character, the balancing design of Honda is we make him beat half the cast and fucking lose to half the cast. Just fucking, yeah. Okay, there we go. What was the harm in doing a meaty uppercut? That should have beaten everything Honda had, I think. Even super. Oh, big punish. That's like a 16 frame overhead or something. 15 frame overhead. It's like insanely fast. It's like Dudley speed. Sim has always bodied Guile. I think people usually put the matchup as like 9-1. It's literally, even though Guile is like not that bad of a character, I think he is involved in what is possibly the worst matchup in the game that doesn't involve Akuma. The only matchups that are even close to that bad are Old Sagat versus a lot of the bottom tiers. Old Sagat versus Zangief, Old Sagat versus Cammy, Old Sagat versus Blanca are really bullshit and unfair. Dalsum absolutely destroys Guile though. Every tool that Dalsum has is good against Guile. Dalsum can drill for days against Guile. He can throw Guile from outside his throw range. He can apply slide pressure against Guile that Guile can't hit because Guile's Flash Cake Switcher, his only invincible move, get low profiled by the slides. I play DJ in Super Turbo. ST in the name. DJ's like Guile but with less counter picks. I can't do his like touch of deaths or anything though. But I'm like okay with his zoning. Oh, and if Guile throws a fireball, Dalsum can reaction low strong and hit Guile and punish him, and then recover into the fireball and be able to block it in time. So literally every single time Gal throws a fireball that's not meaty, Dalsim can punish it on reaction. That matchup is pretty balls. And then like Dalsim can also throw his own fireballs. So in addition to like countering Gal's fireball pressure, he can also like apply his own fireball pressure that Gal can't easily respond to. I don't think Gal has very good normals for beating like anything. I think he can kind of beat a drill coming in depending on the angle with like light normals. He might be able to air throw them sometimes. Gal's air throw is kind of good. Well, that was nice. Ultigod is a real bully to Gal too. That's a bad matchup. Guile, Chun-Li, and Ken are probably hit the hardest by Old Sagat. And I don't mean hit the hardest like they're countered the most, because the characters that are countered the most are like, you know, the low tiers, the bottom tiers. But Ken, Guile, and Chun-Li would probably be much higher tier, if not for Old Sagat. Those are characters with kind of good fireballs, but not good enough to compete with Old Sagat's fireball. He can out-fireball them and just fucking shut them down. Chun-Li has a few options against Old Sagat that make it not that bad. Like she can land on tiger shots and be able to block them. And she's got, you know, like a good, well-rounded fucking way to play offense. Yeah, he doesn't have degenerate stuff. DJ can kill you because of jump in. All Guile can do is fucking the standard ass fucking throw a bunch of fireballs in anti-area. He is well explored though. He has a lot of like niche answers to a lot of scenarios. Anti-air is a really important component of Street Fighter in general. If your opponent's getting full jumping combos on you, that's really bad. That's like DJ's big weapon. DJ's a pretty well-rounded character though. DJ like doesn't really have weaknesses like that. DJ can apply decent pressure. He like has a good reversal. He has like high anti-air damage. He has a good fireball for controlling space. Oh my god, he could have confirmed that. DJ like doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses. Got a good little slew of weapons. Oh yeah? I'm a real good third strike player. I'll play if you want. The most chip damage. I mean, it's really the game with the lowest health. Would be the most accurate way to put it. Can Fei Long... I don't think Fei Long can wreck a headbutt, can he? No way. Headbutts go so far back in this game. Whew. That headbutt. Honda's pretty good in this matchup. Oh my god, his spacing is so on point. He had like the correct punish for everything. That was a very good demonstration of Honda. He played that literally like perfectly. Wow, was that a cross-up? The fact that Honda's holding down back and the opponent has to hold down back to counter a bunch of stuff that Honda does. Yeah! 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 I love that combo! 3 hits, then 2 hits of super. That is one of the coolest combos in this whole game. Oh my god, clutch. Every time Fei Long gets in, man, it's a mix-up. You could eat a throw, you could eat a fucking uppercut. It's hard. Fei Long's uppercut is really good. The best uppercut in the game probably belongs to Old Ken. I would hazard a guess. Old Ken has 3 extremely good uppercuts. But notably, his light uppercut is kind of bullshit. Old Ken's light uppercut is like extremely bullshit. Oh, he got hit by the last hit. He tried to super it. Super? Nope. If you want to play safe pressure and third strike, Akuma is probably the way to go, yeah. Or like Yang. But if you want to do safe firewall pressure, it's literally like only Akuma. Or like Oro, I guess. Fei Long is honestly one of the only characters in SD who can hit the juggle limit. Oh, this is such a hard fucking thing for Fei to deal with. Fei hates fireballs. Oh, that was a good jump. It's really hard to get a jump and punish on that. If you jump after the super freeze, it's too late. You can chicken wing over fireballs, but chicken wing doesn't actually have fireball invincibility. Like, you genuinely need to go over the fireball. So it's like really precise. You can play Akuma either way. There's this idea that Akuma is one of the best rushdown characters in the game, which is maybe true. But you don't need to play him like that at all. There are like a lot of ways to play Akuma and win. He's a strong character. Why didn't he finish it? He really just wanted the pressure? Didn't want the knockdown? Oh, what was I saying about Old Ken? He's got a light uppercut that's literally fully invincible on the way up and fully safe on block. Which is honestly one of the most obnoxious things in the whole game. Wow. I've never seen that punish a fireball. That was pretty cool. I'm like, from how that worked, I'm really surprised I haven't seen that more. So what exactly is old Chun-Li? What does she have that new Chun-Li doesn't? Why would you pick old Chun-Li? Why was there an old Chun-Li on the screen? I feel like I've seen Japanese players pick O-Chun like a decent amount. She's one of the more commonly played original characters. Yeah, Ken can do Kara throw into light DP that throws you if you're throwable, and if you're not throwable, then it will do a an uppercut that's fully invincible on the way up. So it'll usually beat your uppercut. I remember that. That was one of them frameadvantage.com videos. That's a long time ago now. That you just dated yourself like fucking hella old. In the FGC, I mean. What the fuck? Jump back jab. Chun is a character that never really clicked with an American audience in SD. She's played quite a lot in Japan. O-Chun is probably a fucking extreme of that. Americans wouldn't play Chun-Li, let alone old Chun-Li. No, Chicken Wing is really safe and spammable, but you've got to remember that Fei Long actually sucks. Or he doesn't suck, but like Fei Long has been regarded... Fei Long went from bottom tier to like low tier to like mid tier, and right now he's barely creeping on the bottom of high tier. Fei Long is like the... Fei Long has taken literally years to unlock as a character. Oh, nice work. I've been wondering about fucking Seb forever. Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 still have a decent amount of play. I would say they're fucking more popular than EX anyway. Alpha 3 is played a lot in Japanese arcades even today. And I think Alpha 3 and Alpha 2 are still played on Fightcade to some degree. The cool thing about ST is that it's been so fucking explored that like people know a crazy amount of tech for it. So if you actually ask about a matchup in ST, like people there are people who could talk for like there are people who could give 5-hour presentations on Ryu versus Guile. Um, I think a lot of it's accidental in ST. I don't know about Cammy for a single mistake. Cammy's damage is decent. Blanca's momentum is really good. Geef can absolutely destroy you for one mistake. Not even a question. A lot of things that are intentional in ST were accidents when they, like, before ST in, like, previous versions. Like, cross-ups were probably unintended and then became intended. Like, when they gave Fei Long jump medium kick, they probably did it knowing that it would be a cross-up. Where's a Blanca? I think Blanca's usually regarded as, like, bottom 2. I would personally put Blanca lower than Zangief, but higher than Cammy, if it was me. I would put him as the second worst character in the game. There are people who would probably put him as the worst. He does have a lot of really sneaky stuff. That grab has really big range. Also, it has gives him a kind of good scenario afterwards. I'm pretty sure his Blanca ball is insanely fast. Like, it's got like 1 frame startup or some bullshit, which is kind of cool. His slide is also maybe the best slide in the game. And by the best slide in the game, I mean the best slide in the game after fucking all the other better slides. No, but honestly, it is a really good slide. It's not as good as like any Dhalsim slide, but you know. It's really spammable. Cammy's not super good in CVS2. She's kind of good. Maybe she is super good. She's good in K-Groove. She's like one of the better... She's honestly one of the best K-Groove characters. Yeah, Cammy started being good once she got a dive kick, I think. Blanca has so little shit that's good. It's like, honestly, he's got like a bunch of really weird normals, and then he has a bunch of tools that only work in like one scenario. His hop forward is kind of interesting, but not really strong. His counter pokes are kind of neat, but not really strong. He doesn't really have a good answer to fireballs. Electricity is hard to get out on a whim. Slide is legitimately pretty good. And a few of his pokes, like St. Fierce. His cross-up is nice, and his throw range, his bite is pretty good. But there's so little good shit on Blanca. It's hard to land a super too. Yeah, CVS2. CVS2 Blanca is usually regarded as like top tier. Yeah, his jump short and his jump forward are both actually genuinely good. Fei Long is actually kind of cool in this matchup. Balrog is top tier. Balrog is insanely fast. Blanca is more serious in ST than he is in later games. But Blanca was never really that serious. He's always been kind of a ridiculous character. But they played him more straight in the beginning. There's a cameo on the screen right now, man. Cammy's not considered to be that good in Alpha 3, and I'm pretty sure that she had a dive kick in that game. But I don't think it really helped at all. I don't even remember if she had it. I remember one of the other dolls had a dive kick. I presume Cammy did too. That was smart. I think that would have beat her uppercut. Maybe she should on a super. Could have uppercutted that. Last hit chicken wings when Ryu had no prior commits. You can beat those coming in. Ooh. Damn, this corner pressure is insane. It does, and it does, but you can just keep on mashing your inputs. If you didn't get your super out, buy the super free so you can keep on pianoing. And keep on mashing directions. I think not that many people care about Blanco. I don't dislike him, but like, you know, when I think about the list of characters I really want to return, Blanca's right around the bottom. Blanca's fucking been in a bunch of games lately. And he's very polarizing in all of them. On one hand, Street Fighter V could be the chance Blanca has to actually like fucking not be a gimmicky shit. But on the other hand, that would require Blanca to come back. And I've already given him so many chances. Nice combo. I love when I see that. I love when I see Chicken Wing into normal into 3 Rekkas. That does so much fucking damage and stun. I wouldn't. Oh, the backwards hitting normal. That shit is really cool. It basically makes it so your normals that normally push out, push the opponent in instead. You can like set those up so that you get them. That was really neat. And then you get to abuse like the link timing of the normal. I think Blanco's appearance would be one of the first things they need to change. Later, Shilla. A strong fireball game can't really exist easily in Street Fighter V. One of the best ideas I've seen to give a character a strong fireball game in SF5 is to give them a 2-hit fireball, because that beats a lot of the anti-fireball techniques, but that would be ridiculously broken. So they need to give him a 2-hit fireball that also has kind of a lot of startup, and that's literally what they did with Guile. Street Fighter V's fireballs are not bad, and anyone who tells you they are is a scrub. Just flat out. That's like frequently parroted, but completely untrue. It's like, who's top tier? Well, I don't know, maybe Nash. Why? His fireball is really good and spammable. Who's top tier? I don't know, Chun-Li. Why? Her fireball's really good and spammable. Who's top tier? I don't know. How about Ryu? Why? His fireball is really good and spammable. Everyone has more answers to fireballs than they used to, so you have to be more careful with them, but they still control space like just as well. No, zoning with Guile is not as easy. It's like really thoughtful. There were a lot of matchups in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 2 where you could just throw fireballs and it was just always good. Like if there wasn't a fireball on the screen, you just put one on the screen. But in Street Fighter 5, like every fireball has a lot of commitment. Walking up behind Sonic Booms is still good. Literally every character with a fireball in Street Fighter 4 is strong. I mean Street Fighter 5 is strong. Possible exception, Laura. Laura's fireball is certainly good. I think Laura's good. No, people still say fireballs are bad, and they always say shit like, "Oh my God, like, look at Ryu's V skill, look at Dictator's V skill. Every single V skill in the game is designed to just counter fireballs." But what they don't realize is V skills aren't designed to counter fireballs. Like, none of them are. V skills are designed to check fireballs. There are like no V skills in the game that just punish you for throwing a fireball. That like doesn't happen. Every V skill is like counteracting fireballs. It's like, oh, well, this punishes fireballs, but only if you predict them, and it's like, you know, if you predict wrong, you could maybe get punished. Like that's how Karin's V skill works. Or like Balrog's, I suppose. No, Balrog can like kind of reaction punish them. It depends on the character he's fighting. He has to predict if he's fighting like Chun-Li or Nash. And then you have like V skills like Bison's or Nash's, where it doesn't counter fireballs at all. It just ignores them. But it doesn't even ignore them because you can't just always absorb a fireball with Nash or Bison, because occasionally people are going to hit you while you're trying to absorb them. It's all about scenarios. I wouldn't say, like, that's not a counter though, apples and oranges. That's like fucking, if Nash absorbs a fireball, he gets a little bit of V meter, but like so does Ryu if he parries a fireball, and you can hit him while he's absorbing. So it's not, you know, it depends on the content. If it's like a fast fireball from full screen, yeah, he can absorb it. If it's close, then he can't necessarily absorb in time, and he doesn't get a punish or anything even when he absorbs. I don't think Korean gets meter for destroying fireballs. Like, even though Nash has like this thing that he can use on reaction to a fireball, it doesn't really make the fireball weaker. It just gives him another way around it. It's not really that different for Nash to neutral jump a fireball versus absorb it. It's not really that different for Bison to neutral jump a fireball versus absorb it. It just has a little bit less commit. He'd rather absorb a fireball and maybe threaten tossing one back than he would neutral jump one. It's like better for him. It's clearly better for him, but it's not so good that it shuts down fireballs at all. Have I ever mentioned that it pisses me off just a little bit in ST that the only way you can get the original palettes is by picking the old characters? I really like the original palettes. My default colors. Like, real talk, fireballs are not bad in Street Fighter 5. Every single fireball is really good, even like fucking the can. Nikali's dash is not the best. It's like maybe the best meterless, but even then I wouldn't say that, because you have to predict and you need charge. That's like 2 really big strikes against it, and it's unsafe on block. That's 3 really big strikes against it. Needing to predict and unsafe on block are a terrible combination. Needing charge is inconvenient. The best counter to fireballs in the game that's not like a super is probably Cammy's EX drill, because that works even from really close and gets like decent damage, and it doesn't even matter if it's like an EX fireball or anything like that, and it works from really far away too. But it doesn't do that much damage if you get it from far away. I can't read that fucking name. Not in a million years. I can't even make out the left character at all. Oh, that's stand like kick. She kind of gets in. You can back roll it. It certainly puts you a lot closer than full screen, but it's not like a free mix-up. I used to watch Muteki quite a lot. He's a really good gal. He was like the best gal. Ooh. Wasn't there a follow-up there? Couldn't he have gotten like up kicks? Super on a cornered opponent? Wasn't super like generally lead up kicks? Wouldn't that have killed? He's got another super already. Suddenly super is safe and does a fucking fuck ton of chip. Nice counter poke. Chun-Li's ability to store her super is so cool. Teleport. You don't see teleport very often in this game. It's not a reversal. There's like a bug with teleport that teleport fails to move if you do it as a reversal. Or like something like that. There's some bullshit involved with it. And I think there's maybe something involved with being unable to do it with as a reversal at all. Yeah, I saw that. I actually already knew they took it out before they released the patch note saying they took it out. SC drill is insanely good. It's literally a dive kick. It's the best dive kick in this game. It's the only dive kick in this game, and it's like as good as like Kami dive kick in Super. I mean, I never even really saw Kami players using that much. Sim is kind of bullshit. He doesn't really beat Chun-Li, I don't think. No one really beats Chun-Li. Same Chun-Li is probably like 6'4", at worst. That crazy kick, that was cool. Ken is really neat. I think Ryu's better, but Ken is certainly neat. Ken has like a lot of Ken has a high depth. I like wouldn't be terribly surprised if like God came down from heaven and said fucking Ken is slightly better than Ryu in Street Fighter 2. It would kind of be hard to imagine a game that doesn't have plus and minus or like startup or anything like that. There's an SFI patch yesterday. It was full of bug fixes. A couple of the bug fixes affected balance. Ken's light DP is so cool. I really like Ken's knee bash into jump light punch. That's like one of my favorite things about Ken. Is that little meaty setup, that safe jump. I miss that normal. Chun-Li hasn't had that normal in a long fucking time. The last game I played where she had that normal was Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Old T-Hawk is so bullshit. No, Ken's usually worse than Ryu. The jury is always out on whether Ken is better than Ryu in Street Fighter 4. That is just a really hard question to answer. Ryu is better than Ken in ST by most accounts. Ryu is better than Ken, I think. The only time Ken's been better is like Third Strike and maybe CVS 2. Ryu's better in like every other game. No whiff animation for SPD is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, especially with like not being able to jump out of SPDs. I have no idea. New Ken, the worst Shoto in ST? Yeah, I think you're right, actually. It just sounds so wrong to hear it. But all the other three are all better. And Akuma is, of course, miles better. The more I see Fung footage lately, the more I'm convinced that Fung might actually be a viable character. I've been watching a lot of Daiminions Fung, I've been watching a lot of Zhen's Fung, and I've been watching a lot of Sonic Fox's Fung. And particularly with Zhen's Fung, it really seems like Fung always has an answer. You just have to be really smart about what the answer is. Uh, are you really wondering on why people like ST and not Hyper? Is that like a serious question? Hyper added back the ability to play as previous versions of characters, and a lot of those characters are broken as shit. ST is like actually a decently balanced game, or at least for its time it was. There are a fucking bunch of different characters you can play that are all like functionally viable depending on matchup. Hyper introduces shit like fucking CE Dictator and CE Guile that are like so broken they just utterly destroy the game. I hate that about Ken. When he gets like a medium uppercut first hit only, or like a hard uppercut first hit only and it doesn't knock down. That's bullshit. Every time I see that I wince. It's like, hey, be punishable on hit. Yes, the Dictator had block infinites. That's not even the only broken thing he had. He had like a bunch of broken shit. Let's see if we can find that one match. Where is it? I always try to find this matchup. I like remember the entire fucking list of players who were playing. Here we go. Komodo. If you want to see the most bullshit you'll ever see in any fucking fighting game, you're about to see it right now. Everyone fucking hold on to your butts. Okay? We're about to see CE Dictator versus New Blanca. Okay? Fucking literally like prepare yourself. This is safe and does a lot of block damage regardless of which side it hits on, and it's insanely hard to react to which side he hits on. Also has really high priority, so it beats a lot of shit. Like it just beat a reversal fucking Blanca ball. The honest truth is that, like, Psycho Crusher is rarely a bad idea at a CE Bison. And it makes a fucking really ambiguous 50-50 if he does it meaty. Oh, here we come. Where is it? This is some of the most bullshit you'll ever see in any video game. GG. Fucking GG. Blanca literally lost when he blocked that scissor kick. That was when the game was over. Blanca does not have a reversal to interrupt that, even though Blanca has fucking one of the best reversals in the game, in the sense that it's invincible in the first frame. Blanca cannot interrupt scissor kick into low strong. He cannot interrupt low strong into low strong, and he cannot interrupt low strong into scissor kick. How about that? I mean, eating the scissor kick just knocks you over. Like, yeah, you can eat one as soon as you want to,